Alright, hello, I believe we are live now. So today we're going to be talking about this huge severe weather outbreak that is going to be happening on Monday and Tuesday for the southeast United States. So as you can see here, this is the day 2 outlook for Monday. So these green colors are where there's a marginal risk for severe weather, the yellow is slight risk, and the brownish orange is an enhanced risk. So hello everybody in the chat, hello, hey Cyrix. Hello, everybody in the chat. So, we're going to be talking about this big severe weather outbreak and what's going to be driving it and what's going to be happening, who's going to have the biggest impacts. So, first, we're just going to look at the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. So, as you can see, parts of New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama, they will be in that enhanced risk. If we look at the tornado risk, as you can see, this area in the yellow with the black hatches, the black hatches mean it's a significant chance. So, a 10% chance of an EF2 plus tornado within 25 miles of any point. As you can see, that's 2% over there and 5% in the Houston area and parts like that. So what that 25 miles from any point means, if we take this 5% into account, if we take a point like right there, 25 miles from that point, like a 25-mile radius from that point, there is a 5% chance of a tornado happening in that radius. And then in this 10%, it is a 10% chance of that happening. So, hello everybody, welcome to the stream. This is a huge severe weather outbreak and extremely rare for January. If we look at the wind risk here, as you can see for New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama, there's a 30% significant. Significant, I believe, means wind gusts of 65 knots or greater. So around like 70 miles per hour, which is a lot of wind. That can knock down a lot of trees, cause a lot of power outages. So anywhere in this yellow or even green, stay aware, but anywhere in the yellow or the orange, you guys will be in for big severe weather on Monday. So let's check this out on the hail real quick. Parts of Houston, New Orleans, and Alexandria, Louisiana, you will have a 15% chance of hail. This should be not that big of hail, like inch or 2 inch. It shouldn't be that big. Alright, and then let's look over here at, this is basically the level of the jet stream. So this kind of tells you what's going on, like in the jet stream. So as you can see, if we play it through, we currently just had a storm over here that caused a lot of winter weather up here in the northeast. But then as you can see at the back end, this is later or early tomorrow, you can see there is a trough here. So a trough is whenever there's a dip in the jet stream. So all of this right here, all this white area, is a whole bunch of cold air rushing in because the jet stream is dipped. The jet stream basically separates the Arctic air from the warmer air. So as you can see here, it is very windy in the upper atmosphere. Obviously, you won't be getting 90-knot winds at the surface, but it is windy in the atmosphere. So this stays a pretty weak trough until it interacts with the Gulf of Mexico. So as you can see, once it interacts with the Gulf of Mexico, this turns really strong. It is still about like equally tilted, kind of. A little bit positively tilted. What you want in a trough is it to be negatively tilted. You'll see that in a second. But as you can see, there are around 140 knot winds here. That is pretty insane, and that means you have a big system brewing. So right here, as you can see, this area right here definitely needs to take this into account. So this is around very, very early hours of the 9th. So as you can see, this will go throughout the entire U.S. and cause problems for the entire southeast. So let's continue to focus right over here on this risk that is coming on Monday. We'll talk about the Tuesday risk in a moment. But right over here, New Orleans and Mobile, you are in a 10% hatched risk. So it means that you have an EF2 or greater chance right over here. So definitely stay aware and be safe. So next thing I want to show you is the HRRR on Pivotal Weather. So this is a forecast model, so that way you can tell what the simulated radar will look like. So if we start this over here, this is today. If it wants to load, there we go. Alright, just give it a second. Doesn't want to load. There we go. Being very slow currently. I'm sorry. We're just going to take it step by step. So as you can see, today there's not much going on, and then into the early hours of tomorrow, you can see a little bit of rain starts to brew up right over here. So as you can see right here, this rain starts to brew up, and this is from that trough that we just talked about. So this is in about the panhandle of Texas. Oh, that's way far ahead. I'm sorry. So if we look at that right there, oh my god, my phone. I'm sorry. Alright, anyways, so we have this brewing right here, and then as you can see, it stays relatively weak basically the entire day until we get into the later hours. So this right here is around 7 a.m., so this is still very early in the morning. Still very early. So you can see ahead of the storm, there are some like small cells that are popping up. These probably won't be supercells, as this is still like late in the morning. So this is around like 11 o'clock. So you can see these are just cells, and then also you have this line right here of storms. Still doesn't seem very strong either. But if we continue this through, sorry it's being so laggy, I'll have to close out of some of my tabs. Let me close out of 2. Hopefully that'll fix it a little bit. But as you can see, as we continue through, I can see Asher's talking to people in the chat. Thank you for doing that. Alright, as we continue through, this is around 2 o'clock. Actually, 3 o'clock, I do believe. Or no, yeah, 2. It's 2 o'clock. Then you can see it kind of starts to surge up as we have more energy coming in here from the Gulf of Mexico. So this right here, this will move right up. Let me get this out, as this is very helpful. So this right here will move right up into the storm and fuel this storm right here. I have some other stuff drawn on the screen that I need to erase. I just got this. Is there a way to clear the entire screen? There we go. Alright. I got this just for that video. So as you can see, this will start to surge up here. So as you can see, once that starts to surge up, it's bringing a whole bunch of energy with it. So right here, this area really needs to be concerned right there. So this will have some damaging winds with it, but this area right here is where supercells are likely to form. If we continue this through here, you can see that sort of happening in southeast Louisiana right there. And then once we get in Louisiana, we really need to move to a different view right over here. So this is more southeast view. So as you can see right here, you have those supercells brewing in southeast Louisiana. Oh, I keep on messing this up. I need to do a different loop. Alright, much better. Let me go back to where I was. Sorry about this. Alright, so there you go. So as you can see, you have these supercells starting to pop up right along here. So this will continue through, and honestly, they will like not really ever die until they get off into the Atlantic coast. So if we view this here, you can see them continuing to go through southeast Louisiana and southeast Mississippi. And then they all sort of just, by the time it gets to around midnight, they all sort of just form into this one line right here. So this squall line right here will have a whole bunch of damaging winds, probably some places over 70-mile-per-hour winds. And then you can see the cells in front of us, 1 or 2 could be supercellular, but they look like they're just not that strong. And then as you can see, once we start to enter the very, very early hours, this storm just persists, continues being a damaging wind threat. And then once we get over here into 7 o'clock, this line has become a lot more organized. As you can see right here, this is a lot more organized of a damaging wind line. And then if we continue through, we are almost done with this model actually, since it doesn't go very far. This is the most accurate model that we do have, the HRRR. As you can see, this just continues to be a damaging wind threat. And then, as you can see, the HRRR is showing it kind of cut off. Because right over here is where it kind of surged, and there is no more energy really available over here. So you can see it kind of just gets cut off from energy and starts to die right over here. So that is not good. As you can see in the Gulf of Mexico, it is still surging, as there's a lot of energy down there in the Gulf. but that is not over land, so it only concerns the fish. And this is as far as it goes out. It goes out until 1 p.m. So this is at 1 p.m. As you can see, it's causing some problems, but it doesn't seem too crazy, honestly, for this area in the southeast. But this is very far out in that model, and this model is not meant to go very far out. So right now, our main concerns, as I was telling you guys, is for tornadoes and damaging winds in this area right here. I have one more parameter to show you in this storm coming on Monday. So this is the Monday storm I've been showing you. It should be, like, honestly, an all-day event for them. Earliest being, you don't get to see that yet. So for the Monday storm, starting around like here, earliest over here is like in the morning hours. This will be around in the afternoonish, and this will be the late afternoon and evening hours right over here. So this is a model, this is a parameter I want to show you on the HRRR. It's the significant tornado parameter. So it shows you where you have like the best chances for a significant tornado to pop up. And it kind of goes crazy once I show you this. As we go through, as you can see, the Houston area, once it hits the Houston area is right about there. Once it hits there, it just pops off. So there you go. It gets hit by all this shear and all this energy that is in the Gulf of Mexico. And it just pops off. So anywhere from around the Houston area to southeast Louisiana really needs to take a warning. So right here, if you look right here, kind of right over here in the Houston area, and then it kind of goes down a little bit, but obviously there's still a threat for tornadoes. And then right over here in southeast Louisiana right there, and southeast Mississippi, that is where it surge backs again, as I can show you right here. As you can see, it surges again, about right there. So there, as you can see on the tip of Louisiana right there. And if I show you a sounding right here, this is 5.7 on the significant tornado parameter. That is very high, and it means there's a lot of the right ingredients for tornadoes. So this is a sounding here. A lot of you guys don't understand this, but that's okay, because I can just show you. So as you can see, down here is our CAPE. That's the capable energy. It is pretty low for a storm system, but most storms down here in the southeast, they don't really need capable energy, but obviously it still fuels them. So 1,273, it's pretty decent, but it's not like a lot. As you can see over here, possible hazard type is tornado, which is what we're looking for. Also straight line winds. Now this is the other thing I want to show you. This is a hodograph that it basically graphs how the winds are going. So as you can see, there's a steep curve here, meaning there are updrafts, and then you get that clockwise rotation. Basically a perfect hodograph would look like this. That would be a perfect hodograph. This is about darn close to a perfect hodograph. So really the only thing that these storms are missing is the capable energy. But besides from that, there's really everything. You have pretty good 3 CAPE, 117, that's high values over there. And then 75% tornado risk on this sounding right here, which is quite a lot. So this looks like a pretty good system over here. Obviously, I think the best or the worst impacts, the best for like tornado warnings, is right down here in southeast Louisiana. That's the place that I've been talking about for a lot. So give me a second real quick and I'll get ready for our Tuesday system. I'll also say hello to you guys in chat if you want to say hi. Alright, I'm back. So, hello, welcome back. Thank you guys for subscribing, if you just did. But here's our day 3 severe thunderstorm outlook. So, as you can see right here, this is for Tuesday. So, this is Tuesday. So, the day after the big system that we were talking about. So, these storms that were around over here before, they're going to start moving northeast. So, this will definitely cause problems for the East Coast. And as you can see here, they did an off-cycle advisory. I guess they labeled it right here as an amendment, which kind of seems a little bit over-exaggerated. Like, this is not the Constitution. But anyways, the amendment added an enhanced risk right here for places like Tallahassee, and also I have no idea what that city is, but Othen? I don't know. But whatever city that is in southeast Alabama. So this slight risk stayed the exact same as it moves all the way up from Florida to North Carolina. And, oh, the page refreshed. Anyways, since this is a day 3 outlook, you can't see specific, like, things for whether if it's tornadoes or, like, damaging winds. But from looking at the probabilistic, I can infer that it is a 30% wind risk down here and not a tornado risk, because a 10% tornado risk makes for an enhanced risk on the categorical. So an enhanced risk on tornadoes is a 10% hatched risk, and for wind it is 30%, which there is 30% down here. So I believe this is a wind event. Also, if you look over here, I'm going to show you guys this early. Actually, I got to pull up a new tab. Sorry. My bad. I was not prepared to show you guys this, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm just pulling this up real quick. So I'm going to show you the threat for Tallahassee. Alright, if you look over here, the threat for Tallahassee, you can see once it becomes nighttime, all the supercells, they kind of just go away. And you can see there's a few ahead of the storm right there, but I don't know. They don't look as significant as they did on the last day. You look over here, you can see there's some right there. Tallahassee's about like right there. But it looks like the main threat with this is going to be the damaging winds right there. So if we do move this along a bit, as you can see, yeah, once it hits Tallahassee, it looks like it's mainly going to be damaging wind threat. Any of the cells that are going to be above the system, looks like they're going to be condensed over here around South Carolina. So we'll have to see. Those don't look very supercellular, but this is far out in the HRRR, so once, like, the HRRR is very good, like 36 hours. But once you get into 48, it can be a little bit iffy. As you can see right here, it's really showing this storm dying, which could be a true possibility, but normally that wouldn't really happen with a big storm of this magnitude. So what I did want to show you is, once again, this trough. So if we go over here. Alright, so here's our trough again. So this is where I'm going to show you the negative tilt. So there we go. Once it gets to here, this is darn close to negatively tilted. So once you have a negatively tilted trough, it will look like that, sort of. So right here is where all your cold air is rushing in from behind. And then since it's negatively tilted, meaning it's tilted like, I don't know how to explain it, but you can see from my drawing right there, it's tilted that way. But yeah, once you see that right there, you have the cold air rushing in from behind, and then all this warm air is getting sucked up right in front of the system, which is very good for this line right here. Say there's a line of storms. There's a whole bunch of warm air in front of us. It will suck that up and use it as energy. We continue to play this real quick. It wants to. I don't know why this one's being very laggy. But anyways, you can see we have a very strong trough as we move into the southeast areas like Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. But obviously, you could have a strong trough, and the storms aren't very strong because you don't have the energy for it, which is basically what's going on in our scenario here. So this right here is a run of the HRRR. This is the 3 kilometer, which means 3 kilometers high. Well, it's 1 kilometer run, but You get what I'm getting at. This is basically surface level almost. So this one goes farther out. It goes 60 hours when the HRRR only went 48. Someone said thunderstorm near Flagstaff, Arizona. We can check that out right after this. Let's see. Stream's bitrate is down. I'll fix that next stream. So currently we're looking at the hazards. We already assessed Tallahassee with the enhanced risk, but we're looking at the slight risk for Georgia, portions of Florida, but we can't see it on this map. South Carolina, and portions of North Carolina. So as you can see, as we move through over here, once we hit the 9th, you can see, we pause it right here. You can see there is a line of light rain over here, which in portions of South Carolina and North Carolina, it will actually do bad, as it will decrease the unstable air. So you need unstable air for like thunderstorms to like happen, because you do. I don't feel like explaining that right now. But you need more unstable air for thunderstorms to like be better. But this light rain that comes in the very early morning around like starting at like 5, 4, ending at like around 11. This will eat up some of the destabilization and make the air more stable, which is bad. But the good news is that you aren't getting any of that down here, which means that you can let those thunderstorms thrive. The only good that this does do is actually, since this is coming through like a mini line of differential heating, this does make our shear even better, which is the change of winds at different altitudes. But we already had a whole bunch of that. All that it's going to do is kind of increase that even more. So as you can see, that light rain is moving through, and then you have these storms down here in Georgia. This is around 8 a.m. So the storms aren't very strong, and as you can see, they continue up here, and then once you hit the heating hours of the day, this is 1 p.m., as you can see, they kind of start to explode again. So as you can see, down here, this is the comma head shape, so this is like where our line kind of starts. So as you can see right here, it starts to strengthen this line back up again. So if we play this through real quick, as you can see, the storms shift from like a northeast to a like northeast. And then we continue this through. It has basically reached the shore everywhere but North Carolina. And then the storms just continue to be strong, and they stop right there. So it's looking like definitely a slight risk of severe weather. I don't think this will be upped. And then the last thing I do want to show you is the significant tornado parameter on the HRRR, which is the one we were just looking at. So if we go through this real quick, as you can see, if it wants to popping up earlier. And not loading. But I gotta refresh the page. Not loading anymore. Give me a second. There we go, okay. Now it's loading. So as you can see, once we get into right here is 1 p.m. You can see this is the parameter that combines like wind shear and a little bit of instability. So here we go. As you can see right here. So down here along the coast, it's kind of going to be hugging the coast the entire time, this significant tornado parameter. So these are pretty low values, but it's there, as you can tell. And then it kind of goes off the shore. So it seems like it kind of peaks around Georgia and South Carolina. Down there by, I forgot what that city's called. Let me find it real quick. I believe it's Columbia, but I know Columbia's capital. Savannah, yes. Down there by Savannah, it looks like it kind of peaks. And then up there, Georgetown, up to Myrtle Beach, and then it kind of just stops there. So there is quite a bit of that. If we look at supercell composite, this is basically the same thing as a significant tornado, but instead for supercells. As we go through this, you can see there's some of that offshore as well. It looks like the main threat for this, if we turn this back to kind of a wider view, or not. Okay. Alright, southeast works. So it looks like our main threats for Tuesday are going to be isolated around here and there. So those are kind of going to be where our main threats are. I don't really see much happening in this Atlanta area, as it's going to be, the storms are going to be passing through around early hours to around midday. I don't see much actually happening there. And then since I've been talking about how we don't have enough instability, let me show you this. Right here is the cape. So this is the capable energy. So if we look at this, this is a mixed layer combining all the layers of the atmosphere. And if we look at this, you can see they have quite a bit going on in southeast Louisiana. And then as you can see, it just kind of gets cut off. There's a little bit riding up the coast of South Carolina and Georgia and Florida, and Tallahassee, Florida, of course, where we had that enhanced risk. But there's just not much of it. There's not much. So that's our main problem. If we do take a little bit of a sounding right here, I want to take a sounding of Savannah. You can see you have that tornado risk. This is looking very nice. The photograph's looking nice, as we have seen, like that. And then we don't have that curve, but you can see the curve. It's not very visible, but there is a curve there. And then as you can see, the cape values are very, very low. As you can see, only 483 cape, but the 3 cape is at 52, so that's decent. That's a cape in the lower atmosphere, which is good for tornadoes. So that is really all for our severe weather event review. So yeah, it looks like someone wanted me to check out what storms are going on right now. We can do that if y'all would like. And then we're going to end this live stream here. So I hope that you guys gained some knowledge. If you are in southeast Louisiana or southeast Alabama, stay aware for a tornado threat coming tomorrow in the nighttime hours. You could have some strong tornadoes. Alright, so currently if we look at the U.S., we can just go to the multi-site radar. Or actually, we don't need any radar. This is already confusing enough for a lot of people. As you can see up here, all these warnings right over here is for snow. So they're getting a big snowstorm currently up in Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, portions of South Dakota, and Missouri. They're also getting some light snow in parts of Kansas and Missouri as well. But as you can see, it looks like the temperatures aren't cold enough yet. But that's okay, because they aren't getting the snow yet. They're going to get it tonight. Alright, well, not tonight, but like later tomorrow, whenever the... can you look at Chicago? Sure. You want me to look at Chicago? This is currently what's going on in Chicago. We can look at the UK and Chicago in a second. Like Chicago, the main thing that you're going to be looking for in winter weather is the divide of the divide of 32 degree temperatures. So it looks like what I've been looking at Chicago is like over here is going to be 32 degrees, so you can get snow, and then over here is going to be above 32 degrees, which means you probably sadly will not get snow. But yeah, we can look at that on radar, as my brain is not the most accurate thing. Vancouver, sure. Vancouver's up here, I believe, unless I'm stupid. Hold on, give me a second. I'll do Flagstaff, then UK, then Vancouver. Alright. Give me a second, hold up. Alright, give me a second. I'm doing Chicago real quick. Here's tropical tidbits. So Chicago, you're around right over there. This is for the next 3 or so days. As you can see, you have that snow line. This model is showing you get snow, so congratulations, you might get some snow. But then it will transition into rain. So it looks like you might get some snow at first, but then it will transition into rain as it gets warmer. And then maybe some more snow on the backside. So it looks like you guys might actually get snow. But if we do look at this temperature right here. Here you go, right here. Alright, you can see you're right on around the 30 mark, but then it gets back up 32, 34, and then you're right on that 31, 32 mark. So the main thing with you is if you're going to get a big blizzard, or not blizzard, but a whole bunch of snow if it stays below freezing, or you're just going to get a mix of rain and snow, and that would be pretty ugly. What did I say I was going to do? I said Flagstaff, UK, Vancouver. Okay. Let's look at Flagstaff, Arizona. We can use Southwest. Arizona Flagstaff somewhere up there. Let's look at the simulated radar. Looks like y'all are gonna get some snow tonight. Nice, nice. And then that's really it. So it looks like tonight you guys might get some snow starting at around like looks like 7-ish p.m. So hopefully you guys do. And then if we look at Flagstaff right now on radar, actually, yeah, you guys are in a winter storm warning. Let's see, Flagstaff 1 to 3 inches of snow. Nice, nice, nice. If we look at the radar right now, are you guys getting any snow right now? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you guys are getting some snow right now. So it looks like you should get 1 to 3 inches of snow in Flagstaff, Colorado. I don't know where you want in Colorado, but you got a winter storm watch, or it's south of Centennial. And then right where the mountains start, you got a winter weather advisory. Travel could be difficult, 3 to 7 inches of snow. Let me look at UK. UK, we don't have many good maps for, but I can use a pretty bad one, the GFS. But yeah, we can look at the UK, Europe. So there you are. Wherever you are in the UK, locate yourself right there. Here's the GFS. Looks like you're just going to get periods of light rain. System's going to miss you to the south. Possibly some light snow around the 17th. And then once we get past here, it's kind of mumbo jumbo if you really want to see this, but normally it's not very accurate. Looks like you might be a little bit wetter, or a little bit drier than normal, actually, in the UK. Let's see if we look over here at the total accumulation. Yeah, it looks like you might be a little bit drier than normal. Only around like 6 or so inches in the next 16 days. I know that you guys get a lot of rain. This is a lot of requests. So what I'm gonna do, since you guys have so many requests, I'm just gonna put this GFS model on the continental US. Find yourself. There's Florida, Alabama, there's Colorado, Arizona, California, Oregon. You know, find yourself right here, and then I'm just gonna play this through real quick, and you guys can see. So I'm gonna start playing this. Vancouver. Yeah, if you want to see that portions of Canada, 99% of where people live in Canada is up there. If you want to find yourself, let me play this through. There's our big system that's impacting the southeast. You will get some snow up in Chicago and portions over there. Then we have nothing really going on until we hit around the 13th, where we have another big system that could impact Illinois, Indiana, maybe even Michigan, Missouri, and then also could cause some heavy rain right over here in Kentucky. Some more snow. And then it looks like we have a snow system brewing possibly on the 15th. That could impact portions of Virginia. We play this back real quick. Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, Virginia. And then could cause some more severe weather down here in the southeast. And then I'm not going to play it any further than this because it's probably going to be inaccurate. So I hope that you guys found yourself. UK Oxford, I just played the UK map. So if you want to go back in the live stream, then you can. But that's going to be it for this live stream. If you are in anywhere right over here, you do got to stay well alert on Monday and Tuesday. If you're anywhere over here, stay well alert as you might be seeing some tornadoes. But that's going to be all. I'm going to end the live stream, so I hope you guys liked the first Carolina Chasers live stream. There's a chance we'll be storm chasing on Tuesday. We'll have to see though. I'm making that decision around like 8 o'clock. I will update you guys. So I'll see you guys. Bye.